You're taking a live look at our Newport on the Levee camera. This is looking north of downtown from Newport. You can see the very low-lying, eerie-looking clouds, and you can also see it there on our radar image as well in the bottom left corner of your screen. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Once again, these are not severe warned, but rather strong, and that's why I want to hop in here and immediately start with potential impacts here to your afternoon and evening plans, because the Reds are playing right now, and this could be a very windy, a very rainy situation for those involved. Even if you're just strolling around outside right now on your dinner time plans, it's about to get gusty down here in downtown Cincinnati. So zooming on in, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of lightning tracker actually, because I think it's adding a little bit too much of a clutter out there to our radar image. Once again, the one that I'm talking about is quickly approaching the Cincinnati metro area. This has weakened a little bit, but it has produce some stronger wind gusts. Again, not severe warned. We just want people to stay on their toes if they are in the 275 greater Cincinnati area, especially out towards Whitewater Township where they're getting pummeled by a ton of rain. Green Township, you're next. And zooming in a little bit further, yeah, Sailor Park, Cleves, even as far north as White Oak, starting to notice those really eerie clouds approaching you guys as well. So the way that this works for 19 at 6, I have the radar image always below me so you can ask questions as you see fit, but then the ones that I'm controlling, the graphics that I'm controlling, are there to my right. So you can constantly see where the heaviest rain and heaviest storms are happening right now, but also see what I'm referring to as well. So cold rain, big thunderstorm at your doorstep. Most of us have remained dry here in Cincinnati up until this point, but if you're tuning in anywhere but Cincinnati, you're probably thinking, I've been hit by rain, and you are getting hit by rain. Once again, that is just a stronger thunderstorm. The latest information on this one, I'm not seeing any severe thunderstorm warnings. It's just what we call a special weather statement, in which it's kind of a, for lack of a better term, a halvesy, in which you're like, oh, it's not reaching severe limits, but it's strong enough to be noteworthy. And so the latest info on that one is that it's going to impact us here in Hamilton County over the next 10 minutes or so. It's moving only about 25 miles per hour. That's why this thunderstorm you see here, while it's not exactly producing too much in terms of severe weather, heavy rain can be a big impact, especially here in Southwest Ohio, Northern Kentucky. We're all too familiar with the impacts of that. So while wind gusts aren't too severe, or too strong, I should say, only about 45 mile per hour indicated by radar, it's mainly a heavy rain event because we're seeing these trudge by. These are just slowly approaching the Cincinnati metro. Good news is we don't expect this to strengthen any more than it has. It's on a weakening trend. So as it approaches the Cincinnati metro, it could very well be a little less intense looking than what it is right now. So seeing if we have any questions coming on in, hopefully we do. Blanchester has been having storms all afternoon. Thanks for the info. Susan's tuning in from very northern Claremont County. And Susan, we'll go ahead and dive into where you are, because you guys have just been getting hit by storms over the last few days. So Blanchester area, that is just north and east of Goshen, near Pleasant Plain, and yeah, you're getting hit by rain right now. Again, very slow moving showers seems to be the name of the game, but several of us also haven't been hit by the showers and storms. That is kind of the setup that we had been forecasting for today, in which there's just more coverage compared to days prior, but not full coverage. Think of it like makeup, perhaps, in which this is like a medium coverage sort of day, not exactly covering all the imperfections, but it's covering enough for it to be quite the impact. So once again, I'm going to show you what this looks like, taking you out to each of our cameras, our network of cameras around town, because it's a very eerie look. That one in Newport on the Levee especially, you can see the gust front approaching. I'm going to zoom in on that one actually, because this one, if you're tuning, I don't know why you would be at GAPP and watching me, of all people, but this is what you see if you look to the north and the west, looking behind the stadium towards downtown. It's a very eerie look out there. It almost looks like this is something that's going to turn severe, dangerous, and by no means do you want to be caught outside in something like this. This is definitely a lot of bark and a little less bite than you might imagine. So still checking in with our partners at the National Weather Service. So if you see me kind of going off on my own. That's just me updating myself and no new updates. And that's good. We want to keep it that way. We'll let you know if it strengthens, weakens. As of right now, I think it's just going to continue to weaken. But I mean, still very interesting look out there. Sorry about this. I'm just getting my own grasp. I'm checking the clouds, guys. I'm making sure they're behaving. All right, so if you're not seeing the rain, which Cincinnati is seeing the clouds and almost the rain, we're in upper 70s. Some of us are still in the 80s and it feels closer to 90 degrees. So taking you around town, areas that have not gotten the rain today, West Union, even parts of Brown County as well, Mason counties, just south and east of Cincinnati. Perhaps you've just been getting hot, humid, and sunny as well. For most of us, it's been a pretty dry day up until this point. Here in Cincinnati, we've actually been able to climb to 88 degrees. That did surpass our forecast high from this time yesterday. I believe I had it at 86, and so that's because the rain held off a little bit. Those who were heading out to the Pride Parade earlier today actually got to enjoy a lot more of that dry time before the storms rolled in, which is good. We always love when the forecast busts for something like this, right? It's still very mild outside for those that haven't had the clouds, the rain, the storms, whatever you want to associate with it. But you see Mount Auburn, that's the camera behind the graphics. Just a little bit of a shaking out there. And so Mount Auburn, you're going to get hit by these storms very shortly. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these flood alerts, because those of us that have gotten the showers and the storms, not just today, but for the last few days, I'm talking to you guys in southeastern Indiana, you are under some flood advisories. So that's parts of Decatur County and Ripley County, where we've had several inches of rain being reported out that direction. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a radar estimate of the last day of rain, adding upon itself. And of course, that's why we're seeing a little bit of a localized flooding risk with any additional rain that we see today and tomorrow, but especially Monday, in which we're starting to see a little bit more widespread, stronger, maybe even severe threats. So ignore the numbers that you see there, because I'm going to show you new ones. See, this is where we have flood alerts in place. See this? Anywhere from about 2 to 3.5 inches is being reported in parts of southeastern Indiana. And so flood advisories absolutely needed that direction, but notice that there's a lot of gray here, so which means that's our base map color, which means you haven't gotten any measurable rain. And Cincinnati is included in this. And coming up at Fox 19 now at 10, that's going to change. This image that you see here is going to change because we'll have some more information coming on in. All right, let's go ahead and touch base with our radar here now that we have gotten a little bit later into the broadcast. Beverly is giving us a storm report right now, pouring in Hamilton with gusty winds. Yeah, absolutely. That's been kind of the pattern for the last few days, and that's what we're seeing approaching Cincinnati right now. Thank you for the report, Beverly. Stay dry. Tiffany asking, will Covington, Kentucky get any rain? We need it. You will. It's on the way. It's going to cross the river here soon. You can see that image on the radar. Just it's starting to approach Cincinnati, and it'll cross the river. No power in Fairfield Township. Tanya, that's good to know. Let's actually go ahead. We're going to do this together, folks. We're going to look at the outage map together live on the air and see if there's anything else that's really noticeable. Let me zoom out. Okay, so it looks like there's a decent amount of power outages in northern Kentucky right now, which is interesting. We haven't had a lot of storm reports that direction, but of course, with the nature of this setup, it's very easy for us to have a lot of rain and get one good wind gust, and that's all it takes, folks, for these showers and storms to turn to the stronger, maybe even severe side. So just something to be mindful of as this gusty thunderstorm starts to approach the Cincinnati metro area. Again, not severe warned at this time. It's only shown signs of weakening as of my understanding, and I have not gotten anything from the National Weather Service that says otherwise, which is good. Just maybe buckle down, have your plan B in place, take a good hour break from your outdoor plans. I don't think it's going to be a washout per se, but it's definitely going to impact the next hour and a half, maybe 2 hours here in Hamilton County. And again, that's because of the storm that you see approaching Cincinnati right north and west of 275. I'm going to get rid of lightning because we get it. It's a thunderstorm. And notice that just north of Coleraine, there's that purple in there. So I'm going to look at some radars behind the scene and see if there's any hail concerns with this, because typically when we see some concentration like that, that can mean that there's a little bit of hail associated with it. Or sometimes it's just heavy rain, which right now it's just looking like heavy rain. But if you guys are tuning in from northern Hamilton County and you see otherwise, please let me know. Eyes on the ground truth is what makes us all better behind the scenes. So again, not a severe thunderstorm warning, but absolutely a stronger thunderstorm approaching the Cincinnati metro on a very busy Saturday afternoon. Once again, that's not the only storm here in Cincinnati, or at least the greater Cincinnati area. We have no severe thunderstorm warnings in place as of right now at 6:11 your Saturday evening, but by now, I think most of us have gotten some sort of rain over the last few days. And so, like I mentioned just a minute ago, you have rain, it seeps into the ground and turns the dirt into sort of like a mud texture. And if you've got a wire pole, a utility pole nearby, all it takes is one good wind gust to take that pole right down because of that muddy soil. And so that's why I'm not surprised, per se, to hear that there's power outages across the tri-state area. All right, we have a lot of people tuning on in, and I appreciate you guys trusting me with this info. Nicole, raining in South Lebanon. Yeah, you guys have gotten, actually, South Lebanon, we've been watching so carefully, obviously, that storm in Hamilton County, but Warren County has also gotten decent coverage with these storms. Again, lightning tracker is not on here, but there is lightning in the area, so definitely take cover when thunder roars, go indoors. In South Lebanon, you are actually seeing thunderstorms flare up right above your head, and so you're absolutely seeing a lot of the action right now. Thank you for tuning in, Nicole. Monroe, Ohio, storms, Aaron's asking, and so Monroe, Ohio, that's just along 75, just a little bit north of Liberty Township, and you're also seeing the same thing as Nicole is in Warren County. These thunderstorms are feeding off the heat and the humidity of the day and quite literally just popping up seemingly out of nowhere, but it's a very tropical pattern, and we're going to see tropical thunderstorms that come with it as well. So it's very Florida-like. So the heaviest batches of thunderstorms that I'm seeing right now are Warren County, so addressing both Aaron and Nicole in the comments. And then the Cincinnati metro has that thunderstorm that is on the stronger side, that is approaching 275. So good news about that thunderstorm is that it continues to weaken. The later we get into this live stream, it just continues to be less and less impressive. I want to take a look here at our camera though, because a lot of times these showers and thunderstorms, they look really scary. They look really eerie. They look like they should produce something severe, maybe even tornadic. And that's just not the case with this. They're producing strong winds, so you see how turbulent the clouds are. That's how tall they are, but how also low they are to the ground. So these are thousands and thousands and thousands of feet above the surface, borderline above where commercial airplanes are flying. I'd say they're beyond that point, to be honest. I'd have to double check though. And that's also producing a lot of rain. So kind of breaking down this image that you see here, Newport on the Levee, which it's not raining in Cincinnati quite yet, but the clouds that you see here are really low to the ground. But this gray you see here, this bluish gray slate color, that is a rain shaft. So that is not a cloud that you see there. That is rain falling from the clouds. And so it's very heavy. It's impacting the visibility. You also kind of see the sun peeking behind it. It's a very interesting look out there, absolutely, for the Cincinnati metro area and for anyone at GABP right now, which we're talking with the groundskeepers right now. They have been informed that there is a stronger thunderstorm on the way for Cincinnati. It's still weakening, and hopefully it will just continue to weaken. So we'll let you know if anything changes. We got some new information for you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and bring you to that information. It's actually for parts of where we were just discussing for Aaron and Nicole in parts of Butler and Warren counties. That cluster, that little tiny splotch of purple that I had just showed you, they actually just put out a special weather statement for that. And that's because radar is picking up on things such as winds up to about 50 miles per hour. So this is actually strengthening. This part of the storm is strengthening. and it's moving east about 20 miles per hour. So again, wind gusts of 50 miles per hour for those just south of Liberty Township towards Westchester. If you're on the verge of Hamilton, Warren, even Claremont counties, this storm is heading your way. It's not severe, it's strong, and it's been strengthening over the last recent radar run. So it's just south of Fairfield, just northeast of Coleraine, where you see the purple there is kind of the center of what I'm talking about right now. And that's the newest information and probably our greatest concern as of right now, though not our only concern, of course. You see in the radar image below, it's a very active night for most of us. For others, haven't even yet to see the rain. No concerns for hail right now is good, and we'll hopefully it stays that way. But let me know if what you guys are seeing out there. Would love to know if we have any storm reports coming on in that you guys can verify. Jean's saying it's stronger in Harrison. Yeah, that is, let me take it to Harrison. So Harrison, you got about maybe 15, 30 minutes ago, so where you had commented previously, so I'm just catching up for you. The heaviest stuff is past you in Harrison. It is a little bit closer to Coleraine right now, and that is actually the storm that I'm talking about. The newest special weather statement is seen for that thunderstorm that just pushed through Harrison. So thanks for tuning in, Jean. Doug's saying just north of Lebanon right now, storms kind of going around us. Let us zoom out and take a look here. So Lebanon, you've got you're caught in the middle of these storms. They're to your north and to your south, but they're on the strengthening trend, meaning we could very well see this cluster of storms that I brought you to right now, kind of filling the gaps, kind of right over Lebanon. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some raindrops and some heavy raindrops here shortly, Doug. Molly's tuning in from Pleasant Plains by Stone Lick. Thunderstorms are rolling through. Yeah, that is where we just had thunderstorms moving through parts of Blanchester, like where we had a previous viewer mentioning that they were getting some heavy rain. So right now things are looking better for you, and perhaps is a little bit more on the sunny side as of right now. Thanks for tuning in, Molly. And Tiffany asking once again, will Covington, Kentucky see rain? Yes. Nicole is saying thank you for your hard work. I'm more than happy to provide this, Nicole. Thank you. Pat, what about Florence, Kentucky? Let's show you Kentucky, because we've talked a lot about Southwest Ohio and Southeastern Indiana, and that's just where most of the action is happening right now, Pat. And so Florence, Kentucky, zooming on into you, I mean, there really isn't too much going on. It's all skating north of you. Perhaps you have some thicker clouds on the northwestern horizon. That is moving, or those clouds are moving rather, north or east away from you guys. However, whoa, we're in the ocean now. Let me refresh this. But Florence, Kentucky, and anyone that hasn't gotten the rain quite yet could very well be getting the rain right above your head, kind of like what Lebanon is seeing right now. I apologize, my mouse is, or I guess our software is not handling how much data is coming into it very well right now, so please bear with me. I'll go ahead and see if there's anything going on. August is asking, how is Oxford? Oxford is underwater at this point. The rain has lightened up, but Oxford, I probably should have started the live stream with this. That is where we had some stronger thunderstorms moving through last night that produced a little bit of wind damage in other parts of Hamilton County as well. So something that we'll be mindful of, but Oxford, you're seeing a little bit of light rain, but the heaviest storm, the strongest storm, is south and east away from you guys, and it's also moving away from you as well. Josh is asking, thanks for what you do. Of course, Josh. And I'm downtown Cincinnati working at the Longworth Hall building, and there's a wedding going on tonight. What about the rain? Let's talk about it. And so that thunderstorm, that stronger thunderstorm, I've got some good news, Josh. This is great news. As soon as a meteorologist says that something's heading towards their metro area, it starts to vanish. And of course, that's great news. So as this storm has seemingly approached the Cincinnati metro area, it's taken a little bit less of an easterly path and more of a northeasterly path. And so instead of this impacting northern Kentucky, the south of the Cincinnati metro area, it's instead kind of taking a northerly path. I think the wedding will be okay. I think you need to plan for maybe a little bit of moderate rain showers at times, but at least the stronger storm is skating north of the Cincinnati metro area. great news coming on in, and it continues to weaken. So even though Fairfield, Coleraine, Blue Ash, Deerfield Township, even just south and east of Hamilton up there in Butler County, even though you guys are seeing the strongest storm right now, it didn't reach severe limits, and it only continues to weaken is the good news. Josh saying, look at the boat on the river. Yeah, maybe, I wonder, I know nothing about how the boats work. I apologize. But that's something I noticed when I pulled up our new port on the levee camera. I'm like, did we dock for a reason? Oh yeah, look at that. And look, the winds are starting to kick up here in Cincinnati. Still a very eerie look out there to the skies. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the heaviest rain just skates north of Cincinnati, but we kind of get the outskirts of moderate showers. So the wedding, maybe just ducking inside for a few minutes to see some showers pass on by. But other than that, no immediate concerns for you guys out there. Pat's asking about Florence, Kentucky. I already answered about Florence, Kentucky. Oxford, I already answered about Oxford as well. Genlin, storm moving in near Middletown. Dark clouds and thunder. I've been watching it get darker. Yeah, I mean, these storms are literally just firing up right above people's heads. They're getting taller, they're getting darker, and they're producing a lot stronger of wind gusts as well. Thank you for your report, Genlin. Again, that's up near Middletown, where we've got thunderstorms starting to develop. That's in 3 minutes ago. Amy's tuning in. I'm in Dent, Bridgetown, and it's starting to rain a little bit. That's good. So Dent is in the very western part of Hamilton County. It's a little bit closer to, say, the Cleves area in Hamilton County. So yeah, you guys are getting the moderate showers that I've been talking about up near Dent. Lightning. Get rid of the lightning. Yeah, and then parts of the metro are starting to see rain right now. So that's White Oak, Munford Heights, North College Hill. If you're in Mount Healthy, the heaviest storm is just north of you by a few miles. And skating, I'm now a little bit closer to the Forest Park Mall, in which they've been getting pummeled by rain just east of Stockton towards Rialto, which is just southwest of Westchester. Yeah, we've got the heaviest batch of rain right over you guys, but zooming back out, the Cincinnati Metro still got some eerie clouds on the horizon, and while the heaviest storms are looking like they're going to dodge the Cincinnati Metro area in general, you might get some moderate showers on the outskirts of this. That's a long-winded question, long-winded answer to your question, Amy, but I appreciate your report. Josh saying, thank God for sure, and thanks for what you do for the news and the weather. Of course, Josh, this is why I do it. How is Adams County? Layla's tuning in from Adams County, and yeah, we talked so much about where the action is happening. How about where the action is not happening or has yet to happen? And that is Adams County and Lewis counties as well. So that, for those of you that don't know, Adams County is south and east by a few counties of Hamilton. You guys have got a thunderstorm on the way. This one's looking like it's also starting to take a northeasterly path. See if there's any lightning with this, and there's a good amount of lightning with this as well. So depending on where you are in Adams County, Layla, it looks like you guys are going to get a thunderstorm. It's right on your doorstep. You'll get it within the hour. If you're in the northern part of Adams County towards Peebles, the Winchester area, maybe even closer to Highland County, you still have a good 30 to 45 minutes, I'd say, just because these are moving very slowly. However, this one is showing signs of strengthening from what I'm seeing, so just something to be mindful of. Thanks for tuning in all the way from Adams County. I appreciate that. Okay, Brett's asking, will Hebron, Kentucky get any rain? Hebron, Kentucky and northern Kentucky in general seems like they are just dodging the rain chances right now, and they're still looking mostly sunny as well. So we're going to generalize it from Hebron to northern Kentucky, and I think you guys, you're right now for the immediate future, and honestly for the rest of the night, I'm not seeing anything that is too concerning for you guys. Maybe some light rain, kind of like Cincinnati is going to be getting. That could impact your outdoor plans, but again, no washouts in this forecast. Even if you're getting the heavy rain right now, no washouts. Darla's tuning in. It's not raining yet here in Aurora, but it looks like it is going to. So Aurora, for those of you who are not familiar, is going to be in parts of the very southeastern part of Indiana. Excuse me, I'm at a loss for words right now. It's right on the cusp of southeastern Indiana and northern Kentucky, and it looks like you've got a shower developing just out to the west of you. It's looking like it's strengthening, but of course these things can pulse up, look like it's strengthening, and then just quickly collapse. We saw it yesterday, and we'll see it again today. Aurora, so Darla, you'll likely be getting a little bit of rain in the next, I'd say 30 minutes or so. And it's not, again, not the heaviest rain that we'll see for you guys, just a little bit of a nuisance shower moving through. Josh saying the wedding is inside the building. That's good, thank God. I thought you meant the wedding was outside. It's like, hopefully you guys have plans to get inside. All right, we got a lot of other people coming on in. More questions about Covington. I think Tiffany's asked about Covington 3 or 4 times. Covington, like northern Kentucky, like the very southern part of the Cincinnati metro, it's looking better and better for you guys, but we can't rule out the chance for some showers, moderate showers for you guys. But it looks like the heaviest, most concerning showers and thunderstorms right now are in the very northern part of Hamilton County, parts of Butler, Warren, and now pushing into northern Brown, southern Clinton, and western Highland County, where Hillsborough is. So that's going to be where our main concerns are. But Covington, Tiffany, looking better and better, and it's not at the top of my list as far as concerns go. Finneytown. I love Finneytown. It's a great area. Finneytown is one of those areas in which, yep, you are going to be looking out for a few of those lighter showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder if you live on the north side of town. But the heaviest rain is skating north of you. Again, if you're in Cincinnati, you're looking better and better as the storm continues to push north and east away from the metro. However, as we get closer to 7, 8 o'clock, we still can't rule out some moderate showers here in the metro area. Okay. How's Fairfax? Love Fairfax, another great area, part of town. So that's on the eastern side of Hamilton County, east side, best side. And that's going to be a little bit closer to Red Bank Road, if you're familiar with that, and close to Oakley, Hyde Park area, borderline Marymount. So Fairfax looking good. You got some thicker clouds on the way, but the heaviest storms are passing north of you and away from you. Maybe just plan for a few of those moderate showers, kind of like what I'm telling people in the Cincinnati metro to plan for as well, and for those in northern Kentucky. Okay, Goshen, Ohio is dry. Shannon's saying, yeah, Goshen, Ohio. I'm surprised it looks like you guys got some decent showers, at least over the last hour. Maybe depending on which side of Goshen you live on. It doesn't look like a slam dunk sort of deal up in northern Clermont County, but generally the farther north and east of Goshen you are, the greater chance of rain that you had. So Blanchester, Pleasant Plain, Stone Lick area, a little bit north of Newtonsville as well. That's where we had some heavier rain moving through parts of Clermont County. But again, Goshen, you have storms that are bubbling up north of the county line in Warren County. So if you live like in Harlem Township or a little bit closer to even Blanchester, where we're starting to cross the county line, that is something, that's where we're seeing the heaviest storms out that direction. So Goshen, same sort of deal. You're not in the clear just yet, just like anyone in the Cincinnati greater area. You guys know what I'm trying to say, right? No one's in the clear quite yet, just because we've watched these thunderstorms flare up and fizzle away with the heat of the day. Okay. Any other questions coming on in? And I'm not seeing any. That's great. Hopefully everyone feels a little bit better now that they've seen these storms behave on radar over the last 30 minutes or so, because we've been live since 6 o'clock and we've watched these storms strengthen and then collapse. In Cincinnati, it continues to improve. The outlook continues to improve for Cincinnati. So what looked like something really eerie, potentially scary to you guys approaching the Cincinnati metro, it has since weakened and pushed a little bit far north and east. So Cincinnati and northern Kentucky, the deflector shields are working. They're always working. They always prove us wrong, right? And we're still not in the clear for anything like moderate rain, maybe some stronger winds here in Cincinnati, but the heaviest active thunderstorms are going to be in parts of Warren, Butler, Clinton, and now Highland County. So Clermont County, not seeing anything too concerning out that direction. Highland County and Adams County, you can kind of see along the outflow boundary some of these thunderstorms starting to pop up. And so what happens is these thunderstorms kind of pop up on this little pulse of energy in the atmosphere, and that's why we're seeing almost a little bit of a curve to that line of storms. Then that curve starts and
Northern Hamilton pushes up into Butler, Warren. There's Clinton, now Highland, and it's stretching all the way down, crossing Brown and Adams into Mason County. Pretty interesting look there, but that's what we've been seeing the last few days. That's what we'll see today, and we'll see tomorrow as well. I'm going to go ahead and stop talking about the now, at least for right now, unless people have some more questions. Then I'll start to wrap things up for you guys, but I'll do that once we talk about the forecast, because we talk so much about the now. How about the storms pushing in later on this week? Because things are going to change, folks. We talk so much about how it's hot, it's humid, and we've got some heat of the day showers and storms, but when is it going to be, say, normal for this time of year? And I know people are like, 90 is normal. It is normal. 90 for 6 days? Maybe not so normal, at least for us here in Southwest Ohio. So I'm showing you the Muggy meter because we're going to remain hot and humid Saturday, Sunday, even a little bit into your Monday as well. But notice there's some change on the horizon. It's coming in with a little bit more comfy of dew points. I mean, it's not necessarily going to be absolutely comfy. It's just seasonable humidity, less Florida-like humidity. It's going to take some storms to get there, and some of these storms, I've been tracking and watching these storms since last weekend. You know that I've been saying that it doesn't look like the pattern's going to change until next Monday. It's still looking like that, folks, and the trend hopefully remains our friend, even though we're just a couple of days out at this point. And if you were tuning in last weekend, I also mentioned, because we're seeing a pattern shift beyond these storms, sometimes these can bring in strong to severe storms. And yes, the Storm Prediction Center is agreeing with me on this. Marginal risk for most of the tri-state area at this point. There's a greater risk towards Indianapolis and parts of Illinois as well. It's mainly for gusty winds from what I'm seeing right now, and heavy rain as well. Less of a hail threat just because we've been so warm for so long. The atmosphere is pretty uniform in temperature. Of course, you need a cooler air for the hailstones to develop, whereas we just have been so warm for so long. Incoming cool air, we're going to see some stronger wind gusts coming on in. Again, this is going to be for Monday night. That's 48 hours from now. I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. Let's talk about when things are going to end tonight, because I know a lot of people, we actually got some weddings happening in Cincinnati, and hopefully you guys stay dry. We are watching for the storms to be ending by the time night falls, just because there's not a lot of heat for these storms to work with. You notice that these storms aren't happening in the morning, they're happening in the afternoon, so once we see things cool down, we will see less coverage with these storms. It's going to remain mild and muggy overnight into your Sunday. 71 is where we're bottoming out, and fog is possible. It's not going to be a widespread concern, guys. And that's just because it's going to be humid. We don't have much of a breeze. There's going to be an all right amount of cloud cover. It's really not too dependent on that per se, but the rivers, low-lying areas, any of the area waterways, will see a little bit of fog developing. Overall, not a huge impact there. And tomorrow, we rebound with those highs, once again, 87 degrees, and some spotty showers and thunderstorms once again. And the organization of these storms is pretty hard to predict, just because they are your heat of the day, bubbling up showers and storms. So this time tomorrow evening, we'll more than likely be doing the same thing. I think there's going to be less coverage in the storm, so hopefully a little less concern and a little less opportunity for flooding. But nevertheless, you can't rule it out, especially as we see a pattern like this. I want to show you something really interesting. This is coming out of parts of southeastern Indiana. It's a viewer-submitted video from yesterday. This is parts of Aurora, Indiana, where I was just showing you, very southeastern tip of Indiana. You see out here, you're seeing the video on the right side of your screen now, and they're zooming into the rooftops, to the roads, to the tops of the cars, and you can actually actively see the puddles, the rain that had fallen, turning into added moisture to the air. And that's because much of southeastern Indiana got their showers and storms earlier in the afternoon yesterday, and so they saw sun before the sun went down, and so the sun just evaporated a lot of that air and added more moisture to the air, and that's why it feels extra
extra sticky at times. I wouldn't be surprised if some of us saw this earlier today as well. I think it's less of a concern now that we're past 6:30 in the evening. Of course, I could be wrong on that, but it's almost you can just see how hot and humid it is, even despite these thunderstorms. So thank you to whoever sent this to us. This again happened yesterday in Aurora, Indiana. Okay, so storm chances. We're going to talk about storm chances heading into your Monday evening, because Monday evening looks like it's going to bring the most widespread rainfall. You'll see what I mean here, and it's going to come in 2 rounds. Again, the second round, Monday evening, is when things could turn to the strong, maybe even severe side. Can't rule out a few warnings. I don't think it's going to be a slam dunk, severe outbreak sort of day. I don't think you need to be concerned about that, just because it's a pretty weak cold front, but it's, again, a severe risk nonetheless. So, round 1, very scattered chance for those showers and storms. That's going to be early Monday afternoon. And then, here's 6 to 7 o'clock. Notice we're mostly sunny. We could very well, Monday afternoon, see what I just showed you in Aurora, Indiana, in which any of the rain that falls with round 1 could evaporate very quickly, turn to added moisture in the air, and serve as storm fuel for round 2, which round 2 starts to push on through late in the evening. This is after the sun sets, more than likely. So nocturnal storms, you want to take these extra seriously, just because they're harder to see, that's all. And you'll notice them pushing in from the west towards the east. They're going to come in on a line, and these clusters of thunderstorms embedded with them could produce heavy amounts of rain and some gusty winds. More than likely, going to be waking up to more drier conditions. But look at Tuesday afternoon. It's looking fantastic. So these storms aren't for nothing. Finally starting to see a little bit of a break in this hot, humid, stormy pattern. It's going to take a small opportunity for something stronger, though. I want to show you our rain on the roof forecast, because we are looking drier and drier by the midweek, because Tuesday we quickly clear out. We can't rule out some isolated showers in the early morning, maybe impacting that commute, but improving conditions, comfortable air flooding on in for Tuesday afternoon. And then Wednesday, your pick day. That's locking itself in, unless things dramatically change, of course. And then Thursday is looking drier and drier. I still have just the slightest opportunity for something popping up there, but once again, you can see it's on the drier trend. And then Friday, that's the 4th of July, folks. The 4th of July, and good news is it's trending drier and drier. We still can't rule out a chance. We look at a couple of different long-range models, and the American model right now is still picking up on some showers and storms north of us that could be trailing into our northern counties. So if it's going to happen on the 4th of July, I don't think everyone's going to get it. And those of us that do, it's not going to be a washout, is the good news. It's just a chance, and it's just my job to tell you. And then Saturday of next weekend, things start to get a little bit more on the muggy, the humid side. Yeah, that comfortable sunshine is pretty short-lived, but it's at least there, right? Here's your forecast, your First Alert extended forecast. Tomorrow, the Reds are at home. The U.S. Women's National Team is home, and the storm chances are also home. Spotty showers and storms still in the forecast, 87 degrees. Scattered storms on Monday. It's not a First Alert weather day per se, just because it's a weak cold front. I think maybe a couple of warnings are possible, but I don't think it's going to be, we break into regular programming to give you life-saving information. I don't think it's going to be one of those nights. We'll let you know if that changes, because of course it can. 85 degrees, that forecast high. Tuesday, things are looking better and better throughout the day. If you got morning plans, maybe delay them, because the afternoon will be a lot nicer, more sunny and comfortable, a high of 83 degrees. Wednesday brings back those more seasonal mornings. You won't be greeted by a swath of humidity. 65 degrees, 85, that forecast high, comfortable sunshine. Thursday looking drier, 86. A spotty chance for the 4th of July, but again, the trend is that it's looking drier. Keep checking back with us. I know a lot of people are banking on that forecast right now, and we're kind of literally just covering our bases saying, hey, it's possible for some of us. And then Saturday, FCC is home for the first time in what seems like forever, and it's going to be hot, and it's going to be humid next weekend once again. All right, let's go ahead and see if we have any other questions coming on in. I'm not seeing anything coming on in, which is wonderful. Jess is now asking about the one heading into West Union. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick recap of what's going on radar right now that we are 40 minutes into this live stream. See how things have started behaving now that I've gotten through the forecast part of this stream. Okay, interesting. Yeah, this is outside of the viewing area. There's severe thunderstorm warnings out towards Chillicothe, south of Lancaster, and out towards West Union. Jess, yeah, you got a good thunderstorm heading your way. I mean, it looks pretty small, but it can do a lot. I mean, let's see, you got lightning associated with this. And a brief downpour can be expected, of course, lightning and maybe a gusty wind or two for West Union. Hillsborough, still watching for bubbling up thunderstorms along the, oh my gosh, I'm losing it. The boundary line. My goodness, folks, this is how you can tell that it's time for me to sit down for a second. Anyways, still not seeing anything severe out of the storms in southern Warren County, but I would not be surprised if we see any flood advisories that direction. I'm gonna touch base, see if that's changed really quickly. No, it has not changed. Just some special weather statements saying we're watching. There's heavy rain and decent amount of wind with this. So Mason, parts of Lebanon, South Lebanon, especially Harlan Township. That's where we have the strongest thunderstorm moving through the tri-state right now. That's moving east at about 20 miles per hour. And so that is why I hopped on here and I was like, you got to pay attention to these storms. And it's not because of the severe potential per se, but how much rain they're producing. So once again, not seeing anything severe, but we are watching out for flood advisories being popped up across the tri-state area. The only active ones that we have are in Ripley, Decatur counties, and that is in southeastern Indiana. I wouldn't be surprised if by 10 o'clock tonight this changes, or at least over the next couple of hours this will change because of what you continue to see here on our satellite and radar image. And Jess is still tuning in asking, is the storm in Adams County near West Union severe? It is not. And I don't believe it's under any special weather statement right now either. It is not. Yeah, this is just producing a lot of rain, a healthy amount of lightning, and maybe some stronger wind gusts. This is moving east, northeast, about 20 miles per hour. So West Union, Jess, parts of Adams County, you've got this decent thunderstorm moving on through. It's on the stronger side, but it's not severe. And I don't expect it to go out of control. It's going to pop up. It hasn't shown signs of strengthening over the last few radar loop runs. And typically, if these things are going to strengthen, they're going to strengthen really quickly. And so I would have noticed, and we would have noticed, a little bit more of coverage in this, or the deeper reds, maybe even the purples coming on in, and that's just not what we're seeing. But it's still a decent thunderstorm. But no, Jess, it is not severe at this time. In fact, nothing is severe at this time. It's just producing a lot of rain in parts of southwest Ohio, and once was producing heavy amounts of rain out towards Ripley and Decatur counties as well. That's again where we see the only flood advisories as of right now at 6:44 this evening. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here because I've been talking a long time, and I'm sure people kind of get the point. These showers and thunderstorms are going to remain below severe limits more than likely. But if they pop up, they will do so quickly, and then they will collapse quickly too. So oftentimes we do see storms like this go unwarned. It's not uncommon, and that's just because they do pop up so quickly and collapse so quickly. So it's not that these storms aren't possibly severe, it's just that they're not warned at this point in time. Okay, so we actually have some new information coming in. This is live on the air. Everything that I just said, ignore me. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning, and the purple is concerning because the purple means that a tornado is possible. This is not a tornado warning, but if you're tuning in South Lebanon, parts of southern Warren County, the very western side of Clinton County, this is the newest and the only severe thunderstorm that we have seen in the tri-state area right now. Again, this is brand new information for parts of Warren and Clinton counties. That thunderstorm that we had been watching kind of flare up and lose steam. It is now producing parts of concern for what could be a tornado. Once again, that's going to be for parts of Warren and Clinton counties. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for the next 45 minutes until 7:30. Again, the purple, the pink that you see there in the outline, that means that there is potential for a tornado. I'm going to go ahead and look and see if there's any rotation that I see concerning here. Let's see what they've got going on. And I'm seeing it still pretty broad right now. I mean, what we like to see, or what tornadoes typically produce here on our velocity image, folks, is that we need the reds and we need the greens, which is what we're seeing right now, but we need them to be very tight and very bright. I'm not seeing that right now, but we're going to be watching this very carefully. I'm going to go ahead and stay on here until I hear some more information from those with the National Weather Service, just because this severe thunderstorm warning kind of popped up. So this is just north and east of Mainville, southwest of Morrow, south of South Lebanon. That's going to be near Morrow-Cazadale Road. Yeah, it's very broad rotation right now, but once again, this is a new severe thunderstorm warning issued for parts of Warren and Clinton counties. That is where we've had that strong thunderstorm just narrowly clip the Cincinnati metro area, and it's seemingly just re-intensified. So if you're in parts of Edwardsville, Morrow, Harlan Township, Blanchester, Pansy, South Lebanon, Murdoch, Hopkinsville, you are under this severe thunderstorm warning. These wind gusts up to around 60 miles per hour, but it's also been tagged with what could be a tornado possible. So let me know if you guys see anything. This is live on the air. No one's saying anything in our comments. Continuing to watch our velocity image behind the scenes. It's producing some strong wind gusts right now. And so I think those at the National Weather Service are just saying, hey, we're watching because there is green coming into red. There is some sort of rotation here. It's just not really tight. It could get tighter. So we're going to be watching this very carefully. Once again, this is south of Lebanon. This is south of Clinton, Massey. This is north of Blanchester towards Morrow. If you live along Route 22, along Route 48, along 71 in parts of Warren County, this is where we're seeing the severe thunderstorm warning. It's producing a lot of lightning, it's producing a lot of rain, but this severe thunderstorm warning is because we have wind gusts around 60 miles per hour, and again, a tornado is possible with this one. That was issued about 5 minutes ago, so still very much in effect. This is going to be in effect until 7:30 this evening. No confirmation from any of you guys or anyone with the National Weather Service on this tornado tagged severe thunderstorm warning. So I'm going to read you exactly what the warning is saying, because I think it does a wonderful job of explaining this sort of setup. Tornadoes can develop quickly from thunderstorms, especially thunderstorms of this nature. And like I mentioned a few minutes ago, these thunderstorms are going to flare up quickly and collapse quickly as well. So this is their way of saying, hey, a tornado is possible with this just because the rotation is there. It's broad rotation, but it's still rotation nevertheless. Again, that's severe thunderstorm warning in the pink and the orange. Yeah, velocity is still not looking too impressive to me. You've got the reds and you've got the greens. They're just not very tight together. That's good. Hopefully it stays that way. Let's see, we've got some new info coming on in. Yeah, no change with the most recent radar loop. Let's see if there's something different happening on some other radars. And I'm looking at my phone just to see and secure what I'm seeing on this radar is matching on other radars as well. So yeah, overall, not anything too tight and bright right now. Let me know if you guys see anything out there. If you live in parts of Warren, parts of Clinton counties, again, that is where we have the one, the only severe thunderstorm in our viewing area right now. It has been tagged with a tornado possible, which means there is broad rotation in the atmosphere, but not enough tight rotation for a tornado warning to be issued. Tornadoes can happen very quickly, and that's why we want to treat this very seriously as well, just in case that rotation becomes very tight and very bright very, very quickly. Okay, so that's severe thunderstorm warning is for, it's not because of the tornado possible, but that's definitely part of it. It's because of the heavy rain, and it's because of the 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well. Okay, any new information coming on in from those at the National Weather Service? No new information, just that there is a, out east and north of the area, new flash flood warnings issued for parts of the Columbus viewing area, not so much here. Okay, not seeing any more concern on radar behind the scenes. Seeing if you guys have anything for me. Let me know where you're tuning in from and what you guys see out your direction. Of course, eyes on the ground truth is so much better than the information that I can provide you all the way from the skies. August is tuning in. So is Oxford okay for the night? I need to drive back home. I'm assuming you're driving back home from Hamilton. Oh, you're just heading out towards Butler County. You're going to run into some light rain, but I think you're done with the severe weather. Again, our concern is out towards southern Warren, very western part of Clinton County for this severe thunderstorm warning. Winds up to 60 miles per hour, and there is some rotation being spotted with this one. No eyes on the ground truth locking that information down, though. So if you can do so safely, let me know what you guys are seeing out that direction. We've been live on the air for the last 50 minutes, and this severe thunderstorm warning just started about almost 10 minutes ago. So a severe thunderstorm, this one is particularly close to Kings Island. Other parts that are being impacted are going to be the Mainville area. If you look along 71 Camp Cedars that direction, yeah, just along 71 is where we have this pocket of what could be rotation. Right now, it's not screaming anything concerning to me right now, but of course, a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag, treat it like that this is a tornado warning, just because these things can spin up pretty quickly. Okay, no new info. Again, so if you're in parts, I'm going to zoom in now. Now that we've established where we are, we're in Warren and Clinton counties. Morrow, the worst of it is right overhead. Definitely stay in your safe space. Osceola, I apologize for butchering that. The worst part of the storm is just to the west of you. If you're in Senior, that's in Warren County, south of 71. The worst of the storm is southwest of you. Again, this is moving very slowly, painfully slowly, and so storms that move slowly produce a lot of rain and pretty quickly. Other areas that are included within this severe thunderstorm warning, but not immediately in my eye of concern, are going to be south towards Harlan Township, Pleasant Plains included, Blanchester's included, and then state routes that are included are 123, 133, and that's going to be parts of Clinton County. All right, taking you north, because these storms are moving east-northeast, so that's why the severe thunderstorm warning kind of has a little bit of a tilt to it, if you will, because this is moving east-northeast about 20 miles per hour. So people who are next in line, Rochester, we got Senior, just south of it, Hicks, anywhere along 22, 132 in Warren County. Doesn't seem like there's going to be too much concern of rotation right now, but they haven't dropped it off the warning. So I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here for you guys. Make sure she continues acting okay. Other parts that are in the warning are going to be as far north as Kingman, just south of Clinton, Massey, Hickoryville, just west of Ogden, that is also in Clinton County. Sorry, I apologize. I'm checking rotation behind the scenes, making sure nothing is going on here. Okay, got some reports coming in. Brandy's tuning in from Morrow. It's pouring down, but I'm closer to Mainville. Electricity flickered off and on, and we have hail. Yeah, you are underneath that severe thunderstorm warning, and the worst of the storm is directly overhead. So definitely stay in your safe space, Brandy, if you're in it, or at least where you're comfortable. Again, no confirmation of a tornado near you, but of course, still that severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. These things can happen quickly. So once again, where we had that report of pouring down rain, electricity flickering, and hail, that is just south of Morrow, just north of Mainville. So that's going to be a little bit closer to, say, Morrow-Causadale Road. That is where our viewer is tuning in from, so that's going to be between these two. Right about here is where we had reports of electricity flickering as well as some hail. Again, underneath that severe thunderstorm warning. Thank you so much for your report. Your eyes on the ground truth, really invaluable right now, especially as this storm continues to remain warned for parts of Warren and Clinton counties. This is in effect for the next 34 minutes, and I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here just in case anything happens. I'm going to be right here watching behind the scenes. Yeah, there's reports of penny-sized hail coming in from the National Weather Service. Okay. And wind gusts up to around 60 miles per hour. Okay. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect, and so does the tornado possible tag. So that is the newest information coming in within the last minute from the National Weather Service. A severe thunderstorm was located near Morrow, moving east at 30 miles per hour. So it's starting to speed up. It's gaining a little bit of steam, folks. And so the locations within the warning include Blanchester, Morrow, South Lebanon, Mainville, Clarksville, Butlerville, Pleasant Plain, Murdoch, and State Route 123 at State Route 132, where I was just showing you guys. So not only is this a matter of heavy wind gusts and potentially a tornado, it's producing a lot of rain. I'm very interested to see how much rain is being produced with this line of severe thunderstorms alone, just because, I mean, it's been slowly moving by. Let's go ahead and see if we have any local storm reports coming on in. I know nothing's coming in from the National Weather Service, and they're typically pretty quick on that, but obviously they're busy, so no worries there. Okay, here we go. We got some severe thunderstorm reports coming on in for South Lebanon, and it's going to be related to some hail. So this was coming in about 8 minutes ago. Warren County, South Lebanon, near an inch hail. So that's a quarter size of hail, and that's parts of South Lebanon. So that's very close to where we had Brandy tuning in and providing her report as well. So hail being reported and confirmed by the National Weather Service with this severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Warren and parts of Clinton County as well. Other storms in the area include Adams, Highland counties along that frontal boundary, or excuse me, just that outflow boundary. And then, of course, the main entree. Why I'm remaining live here for you guys is for Morrow and for Clinton counties. And I'm going to go ahead and ask our partners at the National Weather Service if they are thinking about a tornado warning with this one. I personally am not seeing anything too concerning, but of course, there's still broad rotation with this. Let's go ahead. I'm going to show you so that you have an idea of what it looks like. Okay, so here is the rotation, the broad rotation. It's south of Morrow. It's just west of Harlan Township, just north of Pleasant Plain. I'm going to show you. Let me scoot it up so you can actually see it. So we need the green, we need the red, we need them to be tighter for this to be producing a tornado. And it's still very broad, but it hasn't weakened. So neither good nor bad news. Okay, National Weather Service in Wilmington just said, no, it is not likely trending towards a tornado warning. That's good, because they're agreeing with me. They're kind of saying, we're covering our bases here, just making sure that people know that we're seeing a little bit of broad rotation in southern Warren and very southwestern Clinton counties. So not trending towards a warning, but there's still broad rotation being seen with this one. Okay, see if we have any new information from you guys. Eyes on the ground truth. Yeah, nothing new coming on in as of right now. Yeah, some strong winds being seen with this. Very strong winds, about 60 miles per hour over very saturated soil. So let's go ahead and check our power outages. Like Brandy mentioned, there has been some lights flickering in her neck of the woods. I believe that says 3,000 people without power in greater Cincinnati. Yeah, that's 3K. Okay, so most of that is looking like it's in parts of Forest Park, Springdale. Yeah, a decent amount of people being affected out that direction. You guys are just seeing some showers north of the area for you guys. The severe storms, rather, are seen a little bit more north and west out towards Warren and Clinton counties. Oop. Okay. Yeah, we've got some reports of power outages in parts of Mainville. Got a decent power outage just towards Butlerville, where this is included in the severe thunderstorm warning to put in perspective. So yeah, it's very evident that electricity and power is being affected by the severe thunderstorm warning that you see right here. This is in effect for the next 29 minutes. Again, tornado is possible with this, but those at the National Weather Service are not likely going to upgrade this into a tornado warning. Of course, things can change very quickly. We are here to let you guys know and keep you updated. This severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag is in effect until 7:30 for parts of Clinton and Warren counties. It's producing a lot of rain, folks. That's also it's not included in the warning and it's not a severe criteria, but it is absolutely impacting, say, the power going on and going around, because you saturate the ground around utility poles so you can move it around a lot easier that way. And one strong wind gust is all it takes to take that utility pole down. Same thing with healthy trees. You loosen up the dirt around the roots and all it takes is a good wind gust to take this thing down. And so treat this very seriously. Let me know if you can let me know what you see around you, if you can do so safely. No new comments coming on in, no new reports coming on in as well. So the severe thunderstorm warning, still watching rotation behind the scenes, still looking very broad is the good news. And sometimes no news is good news, right? Okay, newest information right now is that we've got some flood advisories issued for right where we are talking. Remember when I said that was going to happen? Well, it's happening. All right, let me show you exactly where that is. So that's where that severe thunderstorm warning is, and that's going to be in effect until, wait for it, that's going to be in effect until 10 this evening. So this is a very long advisory. Typically, they're not issued this far in advance, but I think that's just their way of saying, hey, it's raining heavy now, it has been for a while, and it's going to for a good hour or so. And that flood advisory is exactly where we see that severe thunderstorm warning. Once again, parts of Warren and Clinton counties. The pink you're asking about, you may be curious about, that means a tornado is possible with this one as well. Nothing confirmed as of right now, and nothing that is incredibly concerning as of right now. But of course, the ingredients are here, and the rotation is broad at this point. I'm still looking, and so is everyone else too. We're all chatting behind the scenes. Okay, we have another special weather statement. I'm going to divert from the warning and talk about this new special weather statement, which is for parts of Highland and Adams County, so not severe warned, but it's still strong. This is going to be very northeastern. It's, let me get my pointer out to give you an idea, because it's not affecting these areas quite yet, but strong wind gusts are more than likely going to be seen right around here, just northeast of Peebles, as this line of thunderstorms continues to strengthen along the outflow boundary. So parts of Pike County, parts of Highland County, and parts of northeastern Adams County, kind of in the line of these showers and thunderstorms. So that's new information. Here is the most concerning information. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning that is in parts of Warren and Clinton counties.
So if you are within Blanchester, Morrow, South Lebanon, Mainville, honestly, Mainville, you're starting to get on the outside of the area of concern. Of course, these are moving from west to east, so if you're farther west in this warning, you're starting to see the worst of it pass to your east, which is good, but that means the strongest part of the storm is starting to cross into Clinton County from Warren County. So just northeast of Harlan Township, just west of Osceola, just north of Blanchester, kind of right where 133 meets 132 in Clinton County, Clinton and Warren counties, excuse me. They're parallel, I apologize. It's split in the two right now. So it's just south of Pansy where you have that deeper red as of right now is where the heaviest rain is happening. Again, no signs of concerning rotation at this point in time, but it still is tagged with a tornado possible. Notice within the last hour, the heaviest of the rain has shifted from Warren County into Clinton County. So that's where the heaviest and most concern for flooding is right now. But a new flood advisory kind of mimics where this severe thunderstorm warning is, and that's going to be for parts of Morrow, Harlan Township, Pansy, Vernon. This is south and east, far south and east of Lebanon. But if you live south of the I-71 corridor, kind of along, I believe that's 22, yeah it is. That is where the warning boundary is. And there's that flash, I believe that's because I have it set, I believe that's a flash flood warning. Let me just triple check. Yeah, flash flood warning. So that's some new information coming in as well. So you guys really just getting the worst of it as of right now. But new information that you see right here, flash flood warning, is in effect for Clinton and Warren counties, exactly where we have that severe thunderstorm warning right now. That's going to be in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. So no longer a flood advisory, but rather a flash flood warning. That's new information coming in right now at 7:07. Of course, the latest information, you guys are the first to know. Let's see what kind of information they're providing right now. So radar indicated thunderstorms are producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain have fallen. An additional 1 inch is possible. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Again, that is exactly where we have the severe thunderstorm warning. Parts of southern Warren and southwestern Clinton counties. Let me get rid of all the clutter to give you a better idea of where this is, because I know it's kind of a lot of information. But the dark green that you see right there, the dark, or like a neon green, but that's Warren and Clinton counties. That is a flash flood warning. Turn around, don't drown. Absolutely is the case in the situation. Again, 2 to 3 inches has already fallen in the warned area, and another inch is forecast. Once again, this is going to be for parts of Warren and Clinton counties until 10 o'clock tonight. That's a flash flood warning, not an advisory. They went ahead and dropped the advisory in favor of this warning. Let's show you what the rain looks like right now and update you guys on that severe thunderstorm warning, which once again, rotation is very broad at this point, but they still have that severe thunderstorm warning out for parts of Warren and Clinton counties. So we talked so much about where this is happening right now. Where is it heading? Go ahead and put a track on this for you guys. And again, this is if the storm holds together. This is moving east at about 30 miles per hour. So it's just slowly trudging on by. I'm going to put it right in the middle. Okay, so if you're in Martinsville, 7:23, you got a little less than 20 minutes. New Vienna, starting to get into Highland County at this point. 7:36, Samantha, 7:47, and 8:03, New Petersburg. That is all within Highland County. And that, once again, is for not only a severe thunderstorm, a severe warned thunderstorm, but also a flash flood warned thunderstorm. A lot of rain, strong winds, a bit of rotation with this as well. We want to take this seriously. Okay, newest information. As soon as I say take this seriously, it's still a warning. It's just, it looks like they downgraded the warning. So let's give you that new information. I'm going to get rid of radar because I'm sick of looking at it. So they have shrunk
the warning, the severe thunderstorm warning. So if you are in parts of Morrow, Mainville, Murdoch, Pleasant Plain, even Harlan Township, you are no longer under a severe thunderstorm warning. You're in the clear. You're still under a flash flood warning, though. Still, turn around, don't drown. Newest information about the severe thunderstorm warning, they have dropped the tornado possible tag. Good news. This is still in effect for the next 20 minutes for everywhere in the orange. That includes Blanchester, Middleborough, and where State Route 123 meets State Route 133. The very eastern side of Warren County and the very western side of Clinton County, and that's for wind speeds of 60 miles per hour. That is the one and only severe thunderstorm warning that we have in effect for the viewing area. However, it is embedded within this flash flood warning, which includes much of Warren County and southwestern Clinton County. Again, this is where up to 3 inches of rain has already fallen, and another inch is possible. This is in effect until 10 o'clock this evening. Very active night for those in Warren and Clinton counties where the worst of the weather has really been brought through. Now, one more time before I hop off of here, because they have dropped that tornado possible tag, I'm going to give you an overview of where the storms are now, where they're heading, and things of that nature. So please, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to address them. Not seeing any additional questions right now. We have been live for just over an hour and 10 minutes. Okay, so Adams and Highland counties. I brought this to your attention a few minutes ago, but I'm going to reiterate this now. We have seen this storm just north of Peebles strengthen over the last few radar loops. And this is why we have a special weather statement in effect for parts of southeastern Highland and northeastern Adams County, also Pike County as well. Mainly winds, but also a small hail threat and a lot of rain too, and lightning. Here's where lightning is. All the yellow is going to be newer lightning strikes. All the gray is the older lightning strikes. So here in the Cincinnati metro area, it's been pretty quiet. We had a very eerie look to the skies, and that shifted north and east, and that's the good news, I guess, coming in. But maybe the not so great news is that we still have the opportunity for rain. We're seeing it develop just on the 275 corridor along 74, and it's not producing any lightning. It still can produce lightning. It just looks like your run-of-the-mill general moderate showers that'll be coming on through the 275 corridor here shortly. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning, the one and only that we've had of the night, it's now straddling the line of Warren and Clinton counties. It no longer is producing a concern for a tornado. That severe thunderstorm warning that you see in the orange there is in effect until 7:30. That's about 17 minutes from now, and because they continue to trim it from back to front, west to east, instead of extending it from what I need to get off the air. Besides extending it, it's always better, you always want to see them trimming these warnings instead of extending them, which means they're just covering their bases, they're riding this out before adding additional warnings. I can tell that I need to get off of here, but I'm going to do so. So showers and storms are going to continue pushing through the tri-state. The stronger one that is coming through parts of Adams County is still producing what could be some hail, gusty winds. It continues to strengthen. It's doing exactly what we thought it would do, kind of filling in the blanks there. No new information about that coming in other than it's a strong one. And the only warnings that we have in place right now are going to be for the same areas within Warren and Clinton counties. We will let you know if the warnings are extended, if any new warnings are issued. I'm eyeing the one in Highland and Adams County right now. We will let you guys know, but I'm going to hop off of here, give myself a break from doing all of this yapping. I'm sure you guys are sick of me talking about it. Give myself a little break, and I will hop on here if anything changes. Of course, we want to give you that latest information as it comes in, and you guys will be the first to know should anything be added to this map. But I appreciate you guys trusting me with the latest information. And of course, stay weather aware. Have a great rest of your evening.